Hi, welcome back. Today we're going to talk a little bit about becoming a child again. I wanted to do something different and I thought about a lot of different topics, and this is one that I felt would be a great message for all of us to remember. When we're born with all these gifts. We are whole and we have all these incredible things that are part of our nature. It seems that as we get older we tend to forget these things, and some of them we replace them with social programming. Ideas that our teachers, friends, the TV, movies, books, we get filled with all these different ideas and we create these concepts about how everything is supposed to be. Well, today I want to talk about 5 things that all children have, and these are things that are part of our nature, and these are things that I want to encourage you to have again in your life, to remember these things and to have them be part of your life, of your daily life. It's interesting that when you read all the great masters, all the great thinkers, you read about Buddha, you read about Jesus Christ, you read about all these amazing spiritual leaders, they all tend to mention children. They all tend to talk about the idea of becoming like a child, of learning how to remember those things that we were born with. So I want to talk a little bit about those 5 things. The first one is self-esteem. All children are born with huge amounts of self-esteem. Children think of themselves as the greatest thing in the world. They think they can become anything. They think they can be anything. There is no limit. A child wants to be an actor, a singer, a rock star, and a surgeon at the same time. And try to tell them that that is somewhat impossible. It's really hard to talk them out of ideas they have, because they believe in themselves. They have this great idea that they're so incredibly important. And as we get older, we tend to forget this. And we begin to call each other bad names, and we say, I'm too stupid, I'm too dumb, I'm not good enough, and all these different ideas that are in somewhat a big lie. These are things that we have this amazing potential as human beings to achieve anything, but we get so caught up on the daily, silly areas of improvement that we tend to forget about our self-esteem. So I want to encourage you to remember that. You have everything inside of you to achieve anything that you can think is possible. So just remember that. The second characteristic of a child that I want to remind you of is imagination. We have this incredible amount of creativity, and when we're kids we make up our own games, and we think about the pirates and the spaceships, and we have imaginary friends, and we have ideas about all these things that we want to do. We want to write a book, we want to paint, we want to do amazing things. It's not an accident that some of the most productive and best companies in the world are like playgrounds for kids. Google, Apple, a lot of these companies have all these games and all encourage all their employees to play games and to have time to work on their own projects and develop their creativity and their imagination. I think this is somewhat forgotten as we get older. We tend to just think about the daily life, the daily routine, and the bills and the things that we have to do, and we tend to forget about our creativity and imagination, which is a gift given to us. The third characteristic is to have a sense of wonder. Have you ever seen a child walking through a garden? They think everything is amazing. They look at a little insect and they just like, wow, they're amazed at it, and flowers and everything seems just so new and so amazing. In a way, I guess it's because it is new and amazing for them to discover and everything. But it's another thing that gets lost as we get older. As we continue to get older, maybe it's part of our ego that we don't want to show how amazed we are because, well, I'm too cool, or I'm very sophisticated to seem impressed by anything. But we kind of lose a little bit of that, and that's great to have that sense of wonder, to start looking at things in a new way again, to go to a play and go and spend time and see something new, a new song. This is one of the greatest things that I share with my daughter. We look at all these things, we go to plays together, we listen to music, we send each other videos, and And she has this amazing way of saying, look Dad, I have this song that is so amazing. And obviously I grew up in the 80s, and to me that's an old song. To her the 80s is a whole different era. And she sends me these links, and she's so amazed at how the music was and how the clothes were at the time. And I lived through it, I was there, but I tend to try to look at it from her perspective and see, yeah, it is colorful, it is amazing that we used to dress that way, and we had all this amazing music back then. So I encourage you to have that, a little bit of a sense of wonder in everything that you do. The fourth characteristic is kindness. Children are so amazingly kind to everyone. They don't seem to care about your social status. They don't care about the color of your skin. They don't care if you have an accent or you don't. They don't care where you come from. They seem to be so kind and treat everyone the same way. We begin to make these distinctions as we get older, and we begin to think that somewhat we're superior than someone else because we have a nicer car or make more money, or because we were born in a different part of the country, or because we speak a different language, or whatever it is. It's a silly idea to think somewhat that there is this different levels of superiority like society believes that there are. In reality, we're all human beings, and we all have the same emotions, and we struggle with pain, and we want the same thing. We want to be loved, we want to be happy. So treating everyone with kindness is a great mark of our true personality. People who are really great treat everyone the same. There's no distinctions between one or the other. The fifth characteristic is simple rules. Children don't have any complicated rules. They just want to do things, and their lives are simple. They don't define their world in a difficult, complicated way. They're going to do something and they want to do it, and you tell them you can't, and they say why, and you try to explain to them it's difficult, and they don't seem to understand this sense of boundaries and rules. As we get older, we create rules for everything. What it means to be successful. Well, I have to make X amount of money. I have to have X amount of material possessions. We have all these rules. What it means to be happy. What it means to be in love. What it means to be successful. What it means to have it all. And all these different ideas. And sometimes it's just the concepts of these ideas that we have that stop us from living our lives. So live by simple rules. I listened to a seminar one day. It was Anthony Robbins, by the way, and he was talking to two different men, and he asked him, what does it mean to be successful? And one of them says, well, in order for me to be successful, I need to make over $2 million a year. I need to have X amount of material possessions. I need to be on top physical shape. This was a man who was an executive who was making over $1 million a year, but his rule was $2 million. And he had an amazing body, but let's say he was at 15% body fat, and in order for him to feel successful, he needed to be at 10%. All these unbelievable rules made him feel like he was not successful enough. Yet this other man in the audience, which Anthony asked the same question, said, in order for me to be successful, I just have to wake up and know that I'm alive. So every day that I'm alive, I'm successful. And this is how we redefine our lives, by learning how to live by simple rules, learning how to understand the simple things. Anyway, I encourage you to spend time with a child, to see through their eyes and to learn how to see all these amazing gifts they have to offer. And I encourage you to remember how it is to be like a child. I hope you have a wonderful week, and I hope to see you again soon. Thank you.